machine level of precision that they normally used to have.
Yes.
I'm curious to see if we'll be seeing that going up in the set with Vem, 10 Kilo, and Wess.
Now, they're also coming off of a 3-0 as well, so they're storming into this with a lot of confidence, a lot of momentum on their side. Seems like we are having a connection issue here, either a map issue or connection issue, as everybody is running off the stage. We're going to get a reset here as we see everybody toss all their stocks away to get on into this one. Let's see if we can look at trip of the bracket here for the team of Lores and Kyna while we kind of reset everything. They came into top 32, took out Fernandez and Navarro 3-0, then moved on Lores and Kyna versus Hipper 12 and C, which of course Duke and Taza lovingly commentated earlier. That was a 3-0 as well. So I believe they have not lost a game today. What about Vem, 10 Kilo and Wess?
Yeah, Vem, 10 Kilo and Wess to get into the top 8. They took it over Akuma and Nagi. And then before then, they were the ones that knocked down Power and Use into elimination sites to begin with. That was sort of the big upset of the first round of top 32 matches. Alongside, that might have just been the biggest upset that happened in all of top 32.
So it's definitely been an interesting day. We talked about it a lot during EU in terms of like the balance of power shifting with the fall of Acno and Blaze in this tournament. But we're also kind of seeing some of that, not necessarily the balance of power shifting, but it's more like leveling out because we're seeing other teams, we're seeing teams like split up and like pick up someone that we're not necessarily used to seeing on the stream. And then now all of a sudden we are seeing them deep in bracket. But then we're of course also seeing the Kynas and the Loreses come out on top like we're used to.
Yeah, we're just seeing the custard set. That's what we're really watching. We're watching the souffle guys at the moment. And right now, we have them off stage. Right now, what's going to happen here? Okay, Loyal is just going to be looking for an opening up against Wess. Wess, though, with little Neutralite. Oh, that's huge. Is that going to be the stock off the top? Yes, it will be with the recovery.
I was expecting the neutral air from Kyna to actually get the KO off the top onto Wess. He ended up switching targets now, focusing on Vem, 10 Kilo. Did get the stock there, and Wess is very close to being knocked out. But he's going to be putting out some work onto Lores. Probably put out 35 damage pretty quickly, but there comes the recovery, and it's actually going to be a 1-for-1 trade there. And we're going to have everybody on second stocks except for Lores, who is on second stock but taking more punishment than anyone else in the game so far. So he's going to have to be a little bit careful. That was kind of what we were talking about in the previous kind of Lores set. At least this time, we're not seeing that huge 3-1 deficit that we were seeing from them previously.
I will also say, I want to touch on, I think it is interesting that we're seeing a little bit of Wess, we're seeing a little bit of Boots action as well in twos. This is something that Taza and I talked a little bit about yesterday in Southeast Asia, about how Boots is a very interesting weapon. It is not the one that can kind of start interactions, but it is the one that can really finish them because you're the one that takes an opponent off stage with you, and it is, in my mind, up to Vem, 10 Kilo to be the one lobbing opponents into Wess. That being said, Wess right now with the gauntlets on hand, no Boots in sight up until now, has kind of off stage, and then immediately switching back onto Loyalist, tries to help out the teammate, and but
so good.
Too late.
And what I love about Boots is, like, everybody talks about, like, how sick Boots are and how they're like, oh, one of the best weapons in the game, and, oh, I'm losing, better switch to Boots and I'll win. Except, like, we don't have that many Boots players, except for, like, Wess is one of the biggest ones.
Yes.
In the entire world, like, one of the best Boots players that we have going right now. I'm excited if we maybe get to see some more in North America, but, like, it's basically Wess at the top. He started on it, and he's been on it. And they've been doing a great job this game. Their 2v1 combos have been huge. They've done it on both Kyna and Lores. They almost had it there. It was interesting that you saw Vem, 10 Kilo turn around. I don't know if that was just because like Wess and Vem were so close to one another that by turning it around, at least you kind of got to continue it and send over, whereas if you were facing each other, you might run into some issues where you end up hitting your teammate, or there's not enough time for you to react by the time your teammate actually gets the hit.
That was a pretty quick game, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, very fast. It was because, like, here was one combo, and I think that was right after they got the stock off of Kyna right before that. So they were able to convert those two stocks very quickly.
But I will also say the win condition of Boots was executed, which is, hey, oh, I got my opponent stacked and I hit them at the same time. That's cool. I don't have to be really worried about getting called out for like a lot of these really active hitboxes. I sent them both off stage at the same time when Wess set up that edge guard with a down, and I believe against Loyalist and Kyna. So going into game 2 here, we'll see how this one ends up playing out. Vem already getting so aggressive off stage, wants to clean it up with that N-Sig ASAP. He's got places to be.
We're seeing people use that neutral signature a lot more than normal. They're feeling comfortable with how they can use it. I don't know if it's just like wasn't that good for so long, or maybe people didn't use it for so long that they're like, okay, I can use it now. And it's more of a surprise. Wess's signature usage on the Tesca has been second to none today, and for a while now. He does such a good job of converting stocks with that and finding those signatures rather than having to build up 190, 200, 250 damage.
I was going to say, that was such a good position for the blue team at that moment. They had everybody split up exactly the way they wanted. Is that going to be the KO for Loyalist? Yes, it will be. Gets that down, and Wess looking to cover that landing on Kyna. Kyna picks up that cannon, and you already know Kyna not going to be able to get anything off of it, though, as Wess just finds that recovery. Loyalist is going to get interrupted on that edge guard. Look at Vem 10 Kilo being so ready to help out their teammate until, of course, the downer does come out. Loyalist cleans it up, going high. Vem needs to land as late as possible. High recoveries are so nice when you're waiting for your teammate to get back on, because they just stall and delay the situation, and then they can cover your landing.
And you saw it, because the second Wess spawned, he moved over onto Lores, who was the one chasing Vim 10 Kilo aerially, and once Wess got close to him, you saw that recovery come out that really wanted to land on Vim 10 Kilo. That's a double knockout there. Wess is unreal today. We're probably seeing him play some of the best online Brawlhalla we have in a minute, because he's doing it against Kyna and Lores.
Yeah, no, Wess is playing fantastic at the moment. And we cannot possibly overstate that, right? Just setting up a lot of these situations. Vem coming back onto the stage with the recovery. Wess going out there for the spike. Wants something huge off stage. Vem with the reversal. Wess not going to be able to touch in time. That will indeed be the spike coming out. So really good stuff to Loyalist for able to get that cleanup. That's going to be Vem 10 Kilo stock as well out of it.
I'm not sure if that was like a bait and it landed on the main platform, or if he meant to do it right along that wall. That was a tough spot for that to be interrupted by the main platform, because out came the KO punish from Kyna, bringing everybody to final stocks here. But blue team is certainly still behind, especially if Wess keeps swinging both players over on that left side blue wall. One of them's going to fall. It's Lores. Now Kyna finding his way back. It's both members with the down air, but catches an axe side air from Vim 10 Kilo, and that is game 2. Do we see a legend swap from Kyna?
I don't know. This is interesting. This is not going the way that I would have expected it to.
Same.
Now, my question is, I do know they have some of the stats up. Maybe, how many times have these two teams played each other in the past?
Let us see.
I guess it'll take a little second to pull that up. But yeah, in the meantime, Vem 10 Kilo and Wess are looking phenomenal. The one that we, of course, we've stated a couple of times already that we have our eyes on is going to be Wess, right? Wess is getting really lethal off stage. And I gotta say, Vem is really picking up a lot of KOs as well, with a lot of falling like axe sidings as well. Hasn't really gotten too much off the signatures. We see the attempts, but yeah, no, historically, Kyna and Wess have won how many sets?
They've won 4 of the 4 sets that they've played against one another. And in the games, it is a 12-4 win ratio for Kyna and Lores against Vim 10 Kilo and Wess, adding yet another layer of surprise to this as Wess takes that first stock less than 30 seconds into the game from Lores. We are not seeing a legend swap from Kyna over to the Taros, but that is another layer of why it's so surprising how well Wess and Vim 10 Kilo are playing into Kyna and Lores.
Now, Wess is getting punished for some of these signatures, Kyna with a really good whiff punish. Lores, how do you make it back onto the stage? Such a good interruption. You get back on there, you still take a couple of hits. Lores, oh, wait, that's Lores' second stock.
Yes, it
that
is.
That thing is damaged.
And it is, yeah, it's going to be gone very soon if Vim 10 Kilo and Wess keep doing what they've been doing. Lores on final stocks. We're seeing that discrepancy of Kyna with 3 and Lores with 1, except it's when the blue team is already super far behind. So this isn't necessarily like amazing survivability from Kyna. It's both of them getting whipped, and it just so happens that the red team felt like bullying Lores, and they're doing such a good job of it. Forced over onto the edge against 2 blue team members. Kyna comes back in, moves over as fast as he can. Okay. There's one stock on. See if they can clean up this one from Wess. They're being reasonably careful here. Wess finding a couple hits. Kyna tries to go in to help out. Ends up putting damage onto Lores.
Yeah, sometimes you just... There's a person in your life that whenever they try to help, they do make things worse. In that moment, Kyna was that person for Lores. This is not the situation where you want to be eating any friendly fire. You're already down this much. You cannot be trading any further. Them getting that down, Kyna looking for a way to make it back onto the stage. Love that NSIG from Wess. Lores in a nasty position off stage and out of the game.
I love Vim's initiations there over on the wall and over beyond the wall, because he put out like 2 hits on Lance, and a lot of Lance players would be like, I'm feeling swaggy, I'm going to get cute with it, I'm going to clip him, it's going to show up on the Monday Esports dev stream. But no, he was like, I got my 2 hits, I'm going to go back to the main stage, and then Wess comes in fresh with all of his jumps on the board, and he's able to put that damage out. And then they swap yet again, and now they find themselves in the 1v2, likely to clean this one up. Those are those signature team combos that we were talking about. Easy to execute because there are very few points of failure, and you can end those combos in orange.
And right now they're looking to end Kyna stock as well. Wess going out, they're going to be looking for maybe, oh, that's not going to connect. Kyna's just going to find a spike for themselves. Maybe looking for a neutral, comes back on with a side. Again, quite unlikely. You just damaged it to 2v1. Not even somebody of Kyna's caliber can really pull this one out, especially when you're getting hit like that. That still doesn't KO. Kyna barely clinging onto the stock. That doesn't connect.
I'm surprised there wasn't a really quick punish coming out from Wess. I don't know if he really thought the sidelight side air from Vim 10 Kilo was going to make contact, but of course, ultimately the result is the same, and the result is a shocking one. 3-0 for Vim 10 Kilo and Wess over what seemed like the unbeatable team of South America.
Yeah, this shouldn't have happened. This really was against all odds, especially when you look at the seeding, especially when you look at how dominant Warriors and Kyna have been today, and especially when you look at statistically in the past, the amount of time